Hey guys, and welcome to episode 36 of How I Made My First $1 Million. Today we are looking at the numbers from September 1st, 2023. Got a real winner here. Lowest net worth ever, negative 18,000. Okay, so assets down, whatever that is, 9,000. Okay, eight and a half. Why? A larger negative cash position. Okay, so this is basically me buying things, but I'm not the one who spends money on it. It's Anne. So this is getting out of hand, right? This has been racking up for a few months. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, we could call it a debt. I mean, like, it is a debt, but like, I'm in an accounting sense, I'm labeling it as a negative cash position. Because like in my mind it's like, okay, you got to pay that off in less than 30 days, so it's not really like a debt. It's not a long-term debt, but it's turning into one, so gotta take care of that soon. I could sell Bitcoin and pay it off, but I really don't want to sell Bitcoin because it's at a low right now. Now's the time to be buying Bitcoin, or at a minimum just holding it. So anyways, that's that. Speaking of Bitcoin, I did sell a tiny bit. I forget the amount off the top of my head. It wasn't 6,000 or 7,000 or whatever this is. Bitcoin was down, but I want to say like $750 I sold, and the rest is like, price depreciation. So, anyways, we'll see that in a second. Yeah, but something's got to change. So, what does this look like? The overall trend. Let's see here. Yep, negative 18.7. Yeah, I mean, I think. Oh, let me bring myself back in here. I think there was a video at some point earlier in this journey where I speculated that I wouldn't do anything unless the financial situation got bad enough to make a change. I think I speculated that. It's not like that crazy of a claim to make. But we're getting close. We're getting close to it being so bad that I got to do something about it. But that in itself isn't bad, if that makes sense. I'll elaborate in a second. I've been doing a lot of spiritual cleansing, you might say. So anyways, let's do the income statement first. All right. By the way, I apologize for all the mouse clicking. Or rather, I apologize that you have to hear all the mouse clicking. Something wasn't working with my microphone, so, just practicing radical acceptance. It is how it is. I don't have time to fix it. Okay, what happened? Revenues. Oh yeah, that's 750 right there. Yeah, this is the investment income. This is how much Bitcoin I sold. Not that much. Didn't receive any donations this month. And expenses, like, why are expenses so much lower, like $3,000 less? Well, I didn't pay for rent. Like, the cash didn't actually move out of my account. Remember, this is all cash accounting. It's not accrual accounting. So even though I incurred an expense for rent, I didn't actually pay it, so the cash didn't move. So again, this is just an accounting feature. Instead, it moved into that negative cash position that I talked about on the balance sheet. So it's basically a balance sheet item, not an income statement item for right now. Once I pay it off, it will disappear from the balance sheet and it will appear on the income statement. So anyways, sometime soon there will be a massive expense to pay off all that short-term debt. So what else changed here? Yeah, I spent less money on food because it's a negative cash position. I didn't go on a golf trip. My Audible subscription temporarily canceled because my identity was stolen and I had to get a new debit card, and the one that was linked to my Audible account, I didn't think of changing it. I figured I would change everything after all my things accidentally cancel. So I'll get that going soon. And nothing else worth commenting on. Okay, that's the income statement. Beautiful. Cash flows, pretty much we've covered all this indirectly. Yeah, expenses are down. Investing comes from selling Bitcoin. Financing, there was no donation, so not that much to talk about here. All right, updates. So as you can tell by my background, I am in Florida. We've been here 2 weeks, 2.5. Really good to be back. But it also means like summer's over essentially, or at least like the outdoor portion of it, because it's so hot here in Florida that I don't want to do anything outside. So yeah, that's interesting. But the timing is also fine because of something I'll mention in a minute. Okay, so I've got these 3 things on here again. I haven't posted any articles or videos, and I'm not working on building my own CBC, and I haven't streamed on Minecraft. But again, I think about these things, so as long as I'm thinking about them, I'm going to leave this here on the update. But who knows, I may take them off soon. We'll see. Softball practice twice since I've been back, so that's awesome. So that's really good. But no golf or disc golf. And that's basically, well, it's partly because I'm in Florida, although I could play golf or disc golf here, obviously. It does get hot outside. But the main reason for none of that is that I have an Achilles injury, so I'm rehabbing that. So anyways, when I mentioned that it's a bummer that summer's over, the timing is fine because I kind of hurt myself anyways, so I haven't been even tempted to like run around and jump and throw and throw a frisbee or hit a golf ball. And so even at softball practice, I'm going really light batting because batting affects the Achilles. So anyways, that is that. So what have I been doing? Well, contemplating life force yet again. I do think about this all the time. So waking up at sunrise, I kind of stopped there for a little bit and then just got back into it. So like the last week I've been really good about it. So it's at least 25% of the month, but there were a few days early on where I did it. So that's nice, waking up early. Daily 15-minute meditation. I've done it every single day. Every single day this month. I think I'm on like a 38 or 39 day streak, so carrying it over from the previous month. That's really awesome. And since I've been back in Florida, I paused lifting weights. It just doesn't seem that important. It seems more important to work on flexibility and breathing and channeling my energy to a higher state of energy, and that is yoga. That is yoga. So I've gone to yoga 7 times in the 18 days we've been back in Florida, and I'm going to go right after this video. So that'll be 8 times in 19 days. Yeah, really enjoy it. Like really, really, really enjoy it. It's so good for like physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. I mean, it's just so, so good. Like I would probably do it every day if the classes were available. So I'm going to be pushing yoga pretty hard. I mean, like pretty hard in the schedule, but when I'm at yoga, I'm going fairly gentle to get started. No sense in doing anything too intense and making the Achilles worse or creating other injuries. Just by way of a quick anecdote, who was it? Was it Joe Rogan? Yeah, I was listening to one of his podcasts, and he says he's got some friend who's, I don't know if he's a medical doctor or a physical therapist or something in the medical field, and he says that like all the people who come to him come from 2 main places: jiu-jitsu and yoga, because people overdo it. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. I am definitely not doing the super intense yogas just yet. So that's that. Just following up on the vegetable garden idea, we haven't done anything yet. We are kind of busy like settling in. It's just not high enough on the priority list, but instead we've been going to a farmer's market every Saturday. We've gone two times. Yeah, there's only been 2 Saturdays. But we're getting a ton of good stuff there. A ton of good fruits and veggies and other things as well. So we got mushrooms, duck eggs, in addition to chicken eggs. Yeah, just some cool stuff. Cool people too. Reading the Book of Awakening, which I heard about from a yoga class. Like the teacher read a little passage from the Book of Awakening. She does it every class. So that's cool. So we actually bought the book, and Ann and I are reading it every morning as well. It's like a 365-day spiritual practice. So we've been doing that for a few days. It's awesome. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of spiritual things. Anyways, two other things here. Buildspace Season 4. So I mentioned I'm in Buildspace. I still am, but I haven't really been doing it the last couple weeks. So my idea was to work on my Bitcoin book. Of course, it's ridiculous to write a book in 6 weeks, at least for the type of book I want. But I've been working on it occasionally for years, so I kind of already had a bunch of stuff to work with. However, most of those ideas didn't really resonate with me and also didn't resonate with potential readers. So I was almost starting from scratch, not quite. And I think the things that I had to write about, like the feedback I got from people is, oh, if you, like, I'm not interested in really in a book about Bitcoin. That's what people would say. I don't really care about Bitcoin. But if you wrote a book about your personal stories about money, I would read that. And that's the feedback I got to move me forward. So I started writing about personal stories for money, some from my childhood, some from like college, some from my adulthood, and some that I've shared in these videos. And some of the stories are like fun to write about, but some of them bring up like real emotional trauma, like trauma. I don't know if it's trauma with a big T or a little t, probably a little t, but yeah, they're traumatic. And so in writing these stories, like I brought up like a lot of stuff and basically processed that with the help of all the spiritual stuff I've been swirling around. And so that practice of writing for Buildspace, but then not actually moving forward with the program has still been like therapeutic for me and productive, but I'm not really like participating in the program the way I want to be, or the way that I was hoping to be. So anyways, that's just kind of an update on that. So the book is still a long way off, let's put it that way. I have a lot of spiritual growth to do before that book is ready. So anyways, yeah, and the last thing, job applications. This is funny. So in the coming up of things and the releasing of samskaras, blockages, forms of resistance to the flow of energy. Yeah, I'm realizing just how much resistance I have. So it's pretty obvious if you watch these videos, but like I know it intellectually, but now I'm starting to feel it in a different way, which is really the catalyst for change. It's yeah, I feel how much resistance I have to certain things around money, like having an income, having a job, like as if they're a source of evil. And I look at, or I have looked for many years at the fiat system as a form of slavery that I didn't want to participate in. Because I have felt that participating in the fiat system by accepting it, accepting dollars, spending dollars, holding dollars in your bank, you're indirectly supporting a system of slavery. And so, well, that's just one perspective. I mean, it may be true, quote unquote. It may be partially true, maybe false. But the reality of the system, or the reality of life, is that the system exists. And I don't know how to like make sense of it other than like if you think back to like actual slavery in America, you know, prior to the 1860s. I mean, like it was obvious then that people were being held against their will, that they were being stolen from effectively, the fruits of their labor, their time, their energy. And yet the system perpetuated for a very long time. I mean, hundreds of years. So, despite it being obviously inhumane and unjust, it perpetuated. And I guess that's how fiat is as well. And so, yeah, it'd be really nice to opt out of it entirely for like ethical reasons. But frustratingly, it's almost suicide to do so. So there's a pretty big moral hazard there. So I'm grappling with that one. I don't know what the answer is. But there will always be moral hazard in something, I think. So anyways, I'm looking for a spiritual solution. What is the spiritual way? Surrender. What would Mickey Singer do? The surrender experiment. Bam. He would surrender. This is what the universe is asking me to do. What is the universe asking me to do? Well, we shall find out. We shall find out. Okay, so lastly, then we got to get out of here. Thinking, feeling, doing. Well, that's a lot about how I'm thinking and feeling, and a lot about what I'm doing. So I don't know if I need to elaborate on that. I don't know. But next month is episode 37, which is the 3-year anniversary of this journey, which is crazy. And I have a feeling there will be some updates. Oh, I didn't say. So with the job applications. So yeah, with the job applications here, I have actually applied to a job. I have applied to a job. And I have some other ideas as well. So I don't want to explain what it is until I know more, until I get like a yes or a no. But I'm really excited for it. Really excited for it. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next month.